Editing Kim here. Just let you know, lots of laundry sounds and lots of sleep sounds from my poop next to me. Lots of that for your viewing and listening pleasure. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. And if you're not, I'm curious as to hear why. Why? Because whether you are aware of it or not, you are deciding who you want to be, whether you're making the conscious decision to be the self that has what you're manifesting, or the self that is telling the story that you don't have what you want, that this is bullshit, this doesn't work, my life sucks. You're still deciding who you are, just saying. Let me skip through the normal type of intro. And let me just say, if you want to work with me in any way, shape, or form, all of that is in the drop box below, including my channel memberships. I highly encourage you to join the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors group. That's the group where we deep dive manifestation and expand our awareness. So therefore we are what? Not worried about 3D reality. Just saying, we're busy getting what we want. I'm just saying. And that group goes live together tomorrow. And then immediately after that is the exclusive lives group where we are zhuzh only, success stories only. And my God, it is always off the chain. I don't even need to say it. I've said it so much. And on Fridays, we have the hot seat group where you can ask me anything you want regarding your scenario. The VIP, the Advanced Manifestors group, gives you free access to all the other channel memberships, including the recordings of the previous sessions. Just saying. All right. Let's jump in. Okay, like how I often start my videos when I ask you if you've been deciding to be a version of yourself, reminding yourself of who you want to be. And I know for some of you, maybe you're not loving your 3D reality. Maybe you're, sick of not seeing anything different in reality. I understand. But that is you making a decision over who you are, okay? But sometimes when we aren't really listening to the thoughts that are going through our mind, really staying aware of the stories we're telling, that not good enough belief is like a disease. It's a disease that it feels like everybody has a little touch of it. And sometimes we can find ourselves thinking about the thing that we want to manifest, the thing we want to experience. We'll use specific person as the example. We want to manifest this relationship, we start questioning ourselves, especially if we're not seeing things that we want in reality. We start questioning ourselves. And that can stem into the questioning of our worthiness. Are we good enough? Are we a good enough manifester? Do we really think reality can change? Do we think our specific person can change? And all the what ifs start popping up, the unfavorable what ifs. And this video is to remind you that the law is no respecter of person. The law doesn't care who you are. The law doesn't care if you think you're good enough or not. The law is and is what it is kind of scenario. The law is always working, always. You are experiencing reflection in your 3D reality. And if you're new to my channel, reflection, all I mean is it is the reflection of the sum totals of all the beliefs you have for every category of your life. And that is dependent on what version of self you are or what state of consciousness you're embodying. But the law doesn't care. The law is not judging you. Also, if you're new to the channel, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the law of assumption. I'm talking about the law of being. I'm talking about the law of liberty. No respecter of person. You are the sole being, soul self, soul, whatever you want to call it. It is completely under your control what you experience out here. You are the sole person in charge, the HBIC. Just you. The law isn't judging you. The law is not keeping your manifestation away from you. This does not mean that we must please the law, for it is impersonal and neither knows nor cares who uses it. Do you hear that? Neither knows nor cares who uses it, nor for what purpose. But because it is impersonal, it is compelled by its very nature to return to the thinker exactly what he thinks into it. The law of mental equivalence must never be overlooked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. This is The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. The it that Ernest is referring to, he's talking about the universal mind, what you can call God, universe, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, what is inside of you, what gives you the ability to manifest. The universal mind, the pure, unadulterated consciousness that each and every one of us is. Did you hear what Mr. Holmes made very clear? This does not mean that we must please the law, for it is impersonal and neither knows nor cares who uses it, nor for what purpose. Listen to that. Nor for what purpose, but because it is impersonal, it is compelled by its very nature to return to the thinker exactly what he thinks into it. For every single one of you, even though if you've been on my channel long enough, I think I have made the point so clear, but let me make it clear again for you. For any of you worrying about the thing or the person that you're manifesting, that for some unknown reason, you won't be able to get it. It just won't work. Maybe that person really isn't meant for you. Maybe you're meant to be broke your whole life. Maybe you are supposed to feel unhealthy and unhappy. No, the law doesn't care what you're using it for. Now, obviously on my channel, I don't want anyone using it to hurt people, obviously, or animals. But aside from that, it doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter who you are. Now, try not to get so damn literal, because I know some of you probably are thinking, neither knows who I am. Well, wait a minute. I thought, yeah, you are. You're God. That was some sarcasm. We can look at it as doesn't care what version of self you are. Doesn't care. It doesn't know what version of self you're choosing. It's just reflecting. Think of it that way. It's reflecting your beliefs. It's reflecting who you are in charge of being, who you are deciding you are. This is why I say, make a decision. Make a clear decision of who you want to be and step into that. And keep returning to it if you feel as if you have fallen out. We don't judge ourselves. We just return. But choose it. Because the law doesn't care. God doesn't care. The I am doesn't care. Your desire, if you're thinking about it, baby, it already exists and you already have it. You're just not aware. But the law, God, universe, isn't judging you, isn't criticizing you, isn't telling you, no, you can't have that. Or you can't be with that person. That's not happening. But you are experiencing who you're deciding to be. And the thoughts you're listening to and saying, yes, please give me some more of that too, is you making a decision over who you are. So when I ask in the beginning of every video, I hope you're choosing to be the versions of yourself. I suppose that's not a question, but I hope you are. It's for a reason. Because it matters. And you get to decide who that is. And no one can stop you from being that version of yourself. No one. No one can stop you from being any version of yourself. No one can get in the way of that. No one can stop you from experiencing whatever it is you're choosing for yourself. No one. Including the specific person that you're manifesting. That's a whole other video though. Free will, okay, doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. So for real, what are you choosing today? Who are you choosing to be? And the choice you're making, is it who you really want to be? Is it aligning with what you're manifesting? Because it matters who you are consciously walking around deciding, yes, this is who I am. It's determining your next moments, right? All we ever have is this present moment. We talk about this all the time. All we ever have is right now, and right now, and right now. And this right now moment, you make that right now decision of who you are. And that is what is going to be reflected in reality, because that choice is instant. The only reason we doubt, the only reason we fear is because we are thinking and applying our thoughts, the law itself, logically, literally. Think about it. Every time you feel bad about what you're manifesting, you're probably, number one, it's a fearful thought, number one. Number two, it is somehow based in logic. I don't know how this one will unfold. I don't know how this can ever happen for me. I don't see how. I cannot see a clear picture of how this will unfold to bring me back with my person, or bring this new love to me, or bring the money to me, because I can't see right now in this moment how I could ever make that amount of money from where I'm working right now. Or I'm not qualified. I don't have the education to ever work the job that I'm manifesting. That's why we weren't invited to that party. That's why the how doesn't matter to us, because it doesn't. It's not our business. Our business is the decision of who we're choosing to be. The law is absolute, and we should trust its impersonal action implicitly. It can do anything for us that we can conceive of its doing. It is the law of freedom to all who believe in and obey it. Also, Ernest Holmes. If you're thinking of your desire, it's because it exists. But the law is always working. So whatever doubts you might have about what you're manifesting, you need to remind yourself that you are more than enough for this, and you having that belief or not having it, being good enough or not, the law has always been working for you. Our doubts are based in fear. Think of it as you are being made free from the limitations that you've gathered along your life, your physical 3D life. But I cannot stress it enough, the law is no respecter of person. You are not proving your worth to anyone or anything outside of you. You're proving it to yourself. You're having this experience because you're meant to expand your awareness and your knowledge about the law. You're meant to do this. You're meant to keep taking on more and more knowledge. And I don't mean that from a place of, oh my God, you got to do a lot of work now. you got to watch videos every single day in order to get what you want. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, your whole purpose of being is to expand your awareness and coming into the understanding of the omnipresence, omnipotent spirit. You get to decide the title to that spirit, but it is within you. So stop judging yourself, others, if you are, just saying. Stop judging. Stop trying to force yourself to believe in things you don't believe. Start putting your focus on who you want to be. That decision is the guiding force. That decision that you make day after day after day is you choosing for yourself. It's proving worthiness, being good enough to yourself. The law is subject to the spirit and is its servant. Man is spirit, but until he knows this, he will be only half using the law, for he will not have a clear understanding to fall back upon. And this is exactly what I'm trying to refer to in this video. You've been half-assing the law probably your entire existence, just like I was, unaware, unconscious. You're awake now. So it's time to be aware of who you are and make the decision. And you make that damn decision every single day. And if you fall out of it, you return to it. But you're the driving force behind it. Your decision is what's behind it. You have not been woke up to manifestation to then not get the desire that brought you here. You are worthy and deserving and more than enough for your desire simply because of who you are. And the reason why we make the decision and return to it every day is because sometimes we forget. And by forget, I mean forget that we are the spirit, the I am, that we are that. And we're just experiencing expansion, unfolding of whatever the desires are. We're just experiencing that, living our day-to-day life. But everything you're experiencing is a part of you getting your desire. So if we're still in a mindset of having to prove to ourselves or to anyone else around us that we can have this, or that we're good enough for it, or that we deserve it, you were born with that worth. It was your birthright. This law is absolute. This law is always working. And I'm referring to all the laws I mentioned in the video. Your doubts are fear. And nothing more than that. Fear. So to summarize, the law, manifestation, law of assumption, law of being, law of liberty, is not judging you. It's not saying no to you. And there's nothing off limits. There is nothing off limits. Whatever it is that you're manifesting, take this answer comfortably. Yes. Yes, you can have it. Yes, you are more than enough, worthy and deserving of it. Right now in this moment. So choose it for yourself. Choose it and relax into it. Really think about who you are. Outside of the decision of which version of self you're choosing to be, really think about who is the self making the decision. Who is it? Consciousness, spirit, I am. That's the self. the observer choosing, being aware of who you want to be. But there are no judgments, and there is nothing or no one saying no to you. Remember, all limited beliefs are just that. Limited beliefs, layers of ignorance. They hold no real power. In other words, we can shed those limits with our decision because of who we are. Man is spirit. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.